You know, the Bible tells us that follow instructions. A lot of us don't. Sometimes we can get drawn away from things. Even loved ones can draw us away. And we have to have that personal relationship with Christ in order to be victorious in our walk. So what I say to you, just like this vehicle here, it has instructions how to install and how to operate. Here we have a 1972 Chevy pickup. And as this vehicle needs a cooling system. Here in Southern California, it's very hot, very humid at this time. Here we have a 307 cubic inch, 400 horsepower, 2-barrel carburetor. We have a radiator that cools down the channels of the engine to keep it at a certain temperature. And as we go over here down on this side, there is a temperature switch, and that switch is a sensor, just like the sensors of our body. When God created man with a cooling system.
If we are too hot or too cold, the processing center sends nerve impulses to the skin, which has two ways to either increase or decrease heat loss from the body surface. First, hairs on the skin trap more warmth if they are standing up, and less if they are lying flat. Tiny muscles in the skin can quickly pull the hairs upright to reduce heat loss, or lay them down flat to increase heat loss. Second, if the body is too hot, glands in the skin secrete sweat onto the surface to increase heat loss by evaporation. This cools the body. Sweat secretion slows when the body temperature returns to normal.
And that sensor sends a signal to the temperature gauge, alerting the driver that it is overheating. Just like the sensors of our body, when we are overridden, it sends a cooling system in our body to refresh ourselves and to keep ourselves at a certain temperature. But when we get overridden with burden of life, that's when we become overheated. So that's one thing we need to be careful when we're walking Christ Jesus, to make sure that the peace of the Lord is in us. It says that God does not give a spirit of fear, but a spirit of love, power, and sound mind. State of the art. These are actuators, 3 actuators that attach to the climate control, the factory climate control, and then we also change the face to its proper modes, not like the old mode of the old system. And this is part of the system. It's a module, a brain, just like the brain, the human brain, sends signals in order to open up actuators that are in here. These are actual little motors that are actuators that change the vent from defrost to the floor vents and onto the dash vent. As the engine cooling system, there is also a cooling system, which is the AC system, for the convenience of the driver, the one who is inside the cab, to be cooled down and to have peace and sound mind as he drives, to keep him in a temperature that is pleasant. And this is the way this operates, controlled by those actuators and so forth, as I showed you earlier. And you got your heat, your vents, your controls that work accordingly to the instructions. Here, this 1972 Chevy pickup has a lot of power. It has an engine that roars. Let me turn this on for you so you can hear the engine. What do you think about that? It roars like a lion. And the same token, we need to roar like a lion. You know, the conclusion of this message is that we need to follow the instructions, the Living Bible. Just like the instructions on this climate control system, we need to follow just about every word that he says, that every word that proceeds forth from his mouth. Because in Matthew 4:4, it tells us exactly that. It tells us that no man shall live by bread alone, but every word that proceeds forth from his mouth. And if we pull away from that, we can pull away from that very easy. Because when we're living the world as it is, it comes subtle. You can get drawn away. You can get drawn away by people who even say they love you. You need to understand that you need His holy word in you. Just like a USB port, when you plug it into the computer, you download information. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what the word is. And it just gives you life. When you have those burdens in life, and it's overheating in your life where you just cannot take those burdens anymore, and you're crying out to God, and you're telling Him, God, help me, strengthen me, give me that power, the sound mind, and the love of your grace and your power, He will come. But you have to never cease to pray. Continue to keep loving your neighbors, loving the people around you, and just live the way He wants you to live. There's people out there that are not going to want to even be with you because you see the burdens in your life that they don't understand. But there'll be a day they will, and there'll be a day that they will be back with you, talking to you, and perhaps loving you as the way they see the growth, the growing pains that live inside you because you're going through that process. Just hold on and wait on the Lord. And that's what you wait on. You wait on that as you go on those baby steps, those processes of life. And you'll see that the system, the AC within you will start to cool your whole body down and give you sound mind, love, and peace.